Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melissa Galasso, and today we're going to go over a pronouncement that came out last month. We're just getting around to it. We've already talked about IFRS S1, but now it's time to talk about IFRS S2, which is climate-related disclosures. So S1 gave us the overall framework for sustainability disclosures coming out of IFRS, and these disclosures can be used regardless of financial reporting framework that you're using, so you can use US GAAP and then apply these sustainability disclosures. Obviously, you could also prepare them in accordance with IFRS standards as you go through and then also apply these. They're written obviously for for-profit entities, but nonprofits and governmental entities could choose to do this as well. Again, this is really only if you're going to indicate that you are complying with the climate-related disclosures or the IFRS sustainability disclosures. So we already talked about S1, which is sort of the overall framework, and issued on the exact same day was IFRS S2, which is a sustainability disclosure standard, but this time a very specific disclosure, which is climate-related disclosure. So S1 was sort of the overall framework. This is going to be a little bit more specific about, okay, well, using the overall objectives, how does this apply specifically to climate-related disclosures? And the objective of IFRS S2, climate-related disclosures, is to require an entity to disclose information about its climate-related risks and opportunities that is useful to primary users of general purpose financial reports in making decisions related to providing resources to the entity. So again, when we think about the overall goal of sustainability disclosures, this is just one piece of the puzzle, which is related to climate-related disclosures. How does climate-related risk and opportunity impact the organization? And so when we think about this standard applies to climate-related risks which they are exposed to, whether those are climate-related physical risks or transition risks, as well as any opportunities that may be found here. And again, when we're doing this is not an exhaustive effort, right? This is a reasonable expectation effort. And they introduced 4 areas within the S1, and governance obviously being a key area here, which is how is governance, what is governance doing? What is the charge of governance at the board? What is the audit committee, et cetera? What are they doing with respect to sustainability disclosures, in this particular case, climate-related items? And so what are they doing to understand the governance? What is the governance process? What are the controls and procedures that are being set in place with respect to climate change? How are they managing and overseeing climate-related risks and opportunities? And so really looking at the role of the board, of the individuals, of the board of its overall, what are their competencies with respect to climate? What is the board doing in this area? In the area of strategy, obviously, this is try to help users understand what is the entity's strategy for managing climate-related risks. And this could be the current as well as the anticipated effects of climate-related risk and opportunity, as well as the impact of them. And so when we think about strategy, it could be business model. It could be value chain. How are they purchasing? What decisions are they making with respect to that? What is their strategy and decision making? What's their impact on obviously financial position, financial performance, cash flows, right? With balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement. What are the impacts here with respect to the climate and the climate impact? And then climate resilience, and that is the capacity of the entity to adjust to climate-related changes, developments, or uncertainties, right? Certain entities have more capacity for change than others because of the inputs to their process. Obviously, risk management is a key element here. If we have risks with respect to the climate, what are we doing? How are we prioritizing them? How are we identifying the risk? How are we assessing them? How are we figuring out what we're going to do about them? What are the processes? How are they integrated into the risk management process overall? And so again, providing disclosures around how are the companies handling the risks with respect to climate change. And then metrics and targets, which again are going to be around how we're, what targets are they setting, whether they're internal or imposed, external, like the SEC, for example, has proposed providing specific greenhouse gas related disclosures, for example. The federal government has indicated, whether it's respect to, the future of producing stoves, for example. There's a lot of debate right now on that. So, what are the targets or the requirements and the metrics that are being tracked here? And what are the opportunities? What are the progress that we're making towards those targets that they have set? And again, whether that's by law and regulation or self-imposed. And some of the more common ones, greenhouse gases, always, we have the greenhouse gas protocols for this, and this is what the SEC is using for their metrics. And then internal carbon prices, again, as we look to it. So again, as we think about this, I think this is an interesting area. And so this would be effective for annual reporting periods beginning on or after January 1st of 2024. So, shortly coming down the pike. You can early adopt so long as you early adopt S1 as well, because again, that's the overall framework. All right, so that is our quick and dirty review of IFRS S2 climate specific. So we had S1 overall sustainability kind of disclosures, and then S2, how do we dive in? And again, we're providing links in our notes here so that you can go back and take a look at the deeper dive into these various areas. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope to see you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.